So, hi guys, welcome back to the channel everyone. And I know it's been a month I have uploaded a video. So it's nearly a year I have got a KTM Duke 250 and all of you are asking about how's it, and please make a overall ownership review of it. So guys, it's finally time for me to do the ownership review. So let's get out and do it. So guys, I have got my Duke 250 on April 15th, 2017, and it's June 2018, and it's more than a year I have got Duke 250. So guys, I have been using this bike for my daily commute. So I'm an engineering student and I've been using this bike only to go to college and for my daily commutes. And guys, I have done few trips on the bike and not a long trips on it, but for weekend rides I have done a lot in them. And a lot of you guys are asking me that is it worth buying a Duke 250. So for you guys, after watching this video, I think you will get an answer for it. So let's go to some peace place and carry on with the review. So guys, let me begin with the review. And guys, I have already done 7,000 plus kilometers on my KTM Duke 250, and I think it's a better time for me to do the long-term ownership review of it. So guys, let me start up the review with the negative points on it. So the first negative point is the braking. So the braking which is provided on the Duke 250 is not up to the mark, and for the power it has, the braking is really bad. So guys, I think they could have provided the ABS as optional on it, so that the braking could have been improved on it. So the second problem is the engine heating. So Duke 250 eats a lot in traffic, and in highway it's okay, but in traffic it heats a lot. And the coolant consumption on it is very bad, because I need to refill the coolant every 2 weeks once, and I don't know whether it's a problem in only my Duke 250 or other Duke 250 owners. So if there are any Duke 250 owners, please comment down below how often do you refill the coolant. So the next problem is the headlamp. So the headlamp provided on the Duke 250, it looks very good, but its visibility in the night is very bad, and its low beam is pretty much good, but its high beam, it's not at all on the road. If you are a high beam, you cannot see the road properly, and its light is somewhat like upper side, and only you could see is the truck upper part. Other than that, you cannot see anything. So I think that's a major problem on it, and for the travelers, I think they need to get some additional lights on it to travel on it. So guys, talking about the seating position on it, is very good, and the rider seat is pretty much soft, and we could ride for more than up to 250 kilometers without any uncomfortness or without any pain. But on the pillion side, the seats are little bit harder, and for the travelers, they need to get some additional things, or they need to get some float or Figo air floats or something to make their pillion seat comfort. So guys, a lot of YouTubers have been making the first gear challenge on their bikes. So guys, let me check what my Duke 250 can do in its first gear. So guys, let's go out and find. So guys, it did around 52 or 53 I guess. So let's give me another try. Now let's talk about the positive points we are having on the Duke 250. So basically guys, Duke 250 is provided with 250cc 4-stroke liquid cooled engine, and all these technical specification please Google it down, or I will provide it in the description box below. And guys, the power provided on the Duke 250 is pretty much good, and the torque on the second gear is very awesome, and you can play around the traffic, city traffic in it. And guys, the power on it is up to the mark. Now let's talk about the mileage of it. So I have already done the mileage test on my Duke 250 both in traffic and as well as on the highway. So in the highway I have got around 36.2 kmpl I guess, and in the city I have got around 32 kmpl, which is good for a 250cc segment bike when compared to the other 250 segment bikes in the market. It's got around 13-liter tank, and I think it's good for travelers, so they could travel for a long distance without looking for the petrol bunks. Another thing, it has been provided with the slipper clutch, so where the downshifts and the upshifts are made very smooth, and you can shift the gears with only the usage of the single fingers. So guys, let me talk about the vibrations on it. So its engine is very refined when compared to the Duke 200, and there are very less vibration in Duke 250, and it can do from 0 to 130 like quick, and above 130 so it struggles a bit, and there's the vibration is founded. So I have already done a top speed of 159 kmph on it, and I have already put up the video also, and I think it will be displayed in the suggestion box, or else I will provide the link in the description box below. So guys, so that's the top speed on it, and I think the cruising speed is around 100 to 120 I guess. The maintenance cost on it is very less, and I guess it comes to around 500 to 600 per month, which is cost for the coolant and the chain looping and chain cleaners and all. So guys, talking about the price tag, so I have got a Duke 250. I have got this Duke 250 at the price tag of 2,30,000 on road price. So I really don't know what's the present price of it. So I think I will check, and I will put it in the description box below. The another problem I have faced in the Duke 250 is the handlebars. So the handlebars on it is very wide. So because it's already a naked bike, we know. The problem in it is that you cannot filter through the traffic much easily, because there is a small space between the vehicles, so you cannot filter through it, because your handlebars could touch and make a scratch for the vehicle, and even it could take the damage. So the only modification I have made in it is the handlebars. I have installed the handle guards of KTM Duke 390, so and it doesn't come in stock. So guys, if you have watched this video, don't forget to give this video a like, and as always, be smart, be safe, ride hard, bye bye.